Hi, my name's Bronwyn Jane and I'm a psychic medium and a spiritual coach. Thank you for watching this video, for spending some time with me and getting to feel my energy. Now, as you will tell if you've watched any of my videos or lives, I deliver it how it comes. It's not always polished, it's not always neat, it's not always wrapped in a bow, but I am the messenger for spirit and I'll share what they guide me to. Now, my intention was to talk about something totally different to what they've told me to talk about today. So I put that other subject on the back burner. What they said was important for me to share today was an experience that sometimes we struggle to understand. And so bear with me as I try and find the human words for this because it is quite challenging to find the human words to truly express what they want you to know. So, if you've ever had a reading with me or someone else, it may have come up that when we transition, when we go to the other world, when we become spirit, we leave behind a negative emotions. We remember maybe negative experiences, but those feelings attached to it, we remember them, but we don't feel them. That's quite hard to understand sometimes. It's also sometimes hard to understand that if someone in this lifetime maybe wasn't great, made poor choices, maybe they hurt people constantly, or even hurt you, to understand through their evolution in the spirit world that they work on the understanding of what they've done to others as part of their own soul healing and appreciating their soul evolution and their life review. So they don't forget what they've done, but they release some of that pain associated with it if they held it themselves. They release those negative emotions associated with things. If that doesn't, as I said, if they cause this to others, they remember what they've caused. They understand from all angles what they did. But if they had anger or those lower emotions, if they had a lot of fear, they had a lot of pain, that they don't hold. So when we transition, and it's very, you hear that word, they have only but love. But to truly understand what that is like, that can be difficult sometimes for us to actually appreciate what that is. And as I said, I'm struggling with the human words of what they're trying to give, the intensity of what it is. And all I can come up with thus far is think of, if you can, or even if you've got young children around you, very young children. So we're talking before they're influenced by school and community and even family. So young, those 2-year-olds, those 3-year-olds, that age group, and that total joy that they have for all that life is and all its potential. And they're so excited at the smallest things, that higher energy, where the smallest little thing just makes them so happy. Think of that. Even if you can think of yourself when you've been in that energy where you're so excited and you're really present. You're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future. You're just so excited about what's happening now. That pure joy without any attachment, that's the constant feeling that spirit has. That joy, that being present in the now without attachment. And as I said, the best thing I can come with is that what little tiny little children have when they experience something for the first time, whether it be, rolling on the grass down a hill, seeing the most magical little butterfly, whatever that moment is, and you see them fill with that. That is the essence of what spirit feels as their main energy. Now, this has been communicated to me by someone in spirit that not long after they transitioned, they shared this. So I could share this with our community that was linked to this person because they were in grief. For them to understand that even when you pass from illness and pain, and your passing was quite painful, or the lead up to your passing was quite painful, that went instantly and it's replaced with this. And as I said, it's hard for us to understand that, to truly comprehend that energy that they now hold in spirit. And this is the best thing I can come up with, to try and find those human words and try and create that imagery for you to understand what they're feeling now. Because sometimes we wonder, are they okay? Are they still in pain? Maybe are they still bitter? And the short answer is no. But to truly appreciate what they feel and how they are, because quite often I'm asked, how are they? And it's really hard to explain sometimes how they are, because you say, oh, they're good. But that doesn't do it justice. They're beyond good. They're more than good. And to say they're full of love doesn't do it justice either, because they're more than that. Because the love is so different. And so we hear here, we say unconditional love is, what a parent has with a child. And so to say that they're love, it's more than that, because it just is. And even to try and bring it the other way, if you have a pet that adores you, I think of dogs and how much they adore their owners and they look at them so lovingly. To me, that's sort of that unconditional love. But this doesn't even come close to it, so it's beyond that. So when you think of the love you have for your children or your pet displays to you, it's more than that, the love that is experienced on the other side. So you combine a love that is beyond what I'm trying to explain to you. And then you add in that energy of that joy. And I gave you those reference points, but it's more than that. Then you'll get a sense of how your loved ones are in spirit. And as I said, it doesn't even do it justice, because we don't actually have a reference point here that we can use, because it's more, because they're free of all burdens, all pains, all expectations. But these are the closest things that I can come up with. So when you consider your loved one in spirit and you ask yourself, how are they? Take yourself to the place that I've given you. Take yourself to those reference points of that pure joy that young child experiences for the very first time when they're in a moment of just experiencing. That'll give you a clue, but it's more. When you consider how that closest point of unconditional love that you have either experienced as giving or receiving, know that it's more than that. When someone says that your family loves you and they're in spirit, it's more than that, because there's no expectations, there's no burdens. It's just a pure energy stream. So, as I said, I know I'm asking a lot of you to try and consider this energy, but Spirit really wanted me to express that to you and what that it is. And even if you can just imagine a little bit, and even if it doesn't get to quite to where how your loved one feels, what they're trying to communicate to you when they do send you love, if you can go to those reference points that I gave you and sit in that for a little minute, you'll understand what they're sending you, even if it's not to the full extent that they want you to feel it, but they just want you to know that this is how they're feeling and what they're sending you. And just pause and let that come into you and let that resonate even within your soul and your being. And know that they are okay. They're more than okay. And know that their love that they have for you is beyond what they could ever show here, no matter how much they loved you. But what they can show you now and what they can send you now is so much more. Even if, and I know for some, we may struggle to think that that particular person in spirit will be capable of it, know that they've done some work and they remember what they've done and they've remembered all that they've done and they appreciate it, and now they just want to send you love. So I'm going to leave that with you, and I'm going to invite you to come back and re-watch this video more than once, because it takes a while to bed in what I'm trying to explain on Spirit's behalf. I know it does, but it's worth trying to grasp the energy that they're trying to share. So if you like my energy, you want to connect with me more, I'm available to connect with on Facebook, also YouTube, and a multitude of other ways. And if we never connect again, that's perfectly fine as well. Know that this message is important for you to hear, whether you hear it as soon as it's released to you, you stumble across it in a year's time, it's important. Have a wonderful day.